This 17 News at Noon podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
And good afternoon, I'm Elena Rusk, and we continue our court watch at this hour as two prominent local cases rest in the hands of their juries. We begin with the trial of Matthew Queen. Closing arguments happened Monday in the trial of this man accused of torturing and murdering Michael Holsenbake, a member of the so-called Bakersfield Three. Prosecutors say Queen and Bailey Despot tortured and killed Holsenbake in March of 2018, all over a stolen gun. But Queen's defense attorney questioned the reliability of the prosecution's witnesses, several of whom were in police custody when they testified. He also pointed out the wound discovered on Holsenbake's skull is consistent with Queen's story that Despot dropped a dumbbell on Holsenbake's head. We are closely monitoring deliberations, and we'll have updates for you on our mobile app and our website, kget.com, as soon as we get word that the jury may have reached a decision. Meanwhile, the jury is now in deliberations for Bakersfield's so-called honor killing case. Closing arguments also presented there on Monday in the trial of 67-year-old Jagjit Singh, the man charged with the murder and the shooting death of his daughter-in-law Sumandeep Kaur Kuner, after she admitted to having an affair and threatened to leave the family. His defense attorney, David Torres, is asking the jury to find his client guilty of voluntary manslaughter, arguing the shooting was not premeditated, but rather occurred in the heat of the moment. Prosecutor Kara Thompson has said Singh committed first-degree murder, shooting an unarmed woman 3 times because he disagreed with her. Singh faces life in prison if convicted of murder. And happening today, Kern County's 44th Honor Flight is now in Washington, D.C., with more than 90 veterans and their caregivers visiting the memorials built in their honor. The 3-day tour aims to give them the recognition they deserve. Bakersfield Congressman Kevin McCarthy was there yesterday to welcome them to the nation's capital, and last night they attended a Veterans Award dinner. Today, the vets are visiting Arlington National Cemetery. Now, a big part of Honor Flight is happening tomorrow with the welcome home ceremony. That will be held at North High's Gymnasium starting at 6 p.m., and the public is encouraged to attend. Also happening today, it is May 4th, a big day for Star Wars fans, as we wish each other, May the 4th be with you. Get it? Okay, so businesses across town getting in on the fun, including Cloud9 Coffee Company in the Stockdale Tower. The coffee shop is decorated from floor to ceiling to transport you to a galaxy far, far away, with baristas dressed as popular characters from the franchise. Now, you can still join in the fun there. They are open until 3 p.m. this afternoon. If you can't make it, they say don't worry, they plan to make this an annual tradition. And free pet adoptions are happening today at Kern County Animal Services to celebrate May the 4th. The shelter says fees will be waived all day at its shelters here in Bakersfield and up in Isabella. They have extended hours today as well, staying open until 7 p.m.
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OBGYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
Well, now to your 17 business news. The Federal Reserve raised its benchmark short-term interest rate by a sizable 0.5 percentage point. It's an effort to intensify their efforts to curb the worst inflation in 40 years. The half-point hike in the Fed's key rate is the largest since 2000 and the highest point since the pandemic struck 2 years ago. The Fed also announced today it will start reducing its huge $9 trillion balance sheet, which consists mainly of Treasury and mortgage bonds. Reducing the Fed's holdings will have the effect of further raising loan costs throughout our economy. And employers reported 11.5 million unfilled job openings in the month of March. These numbers come as the ongoing trend of workers are quitting their jobs in favor of improved working conditions and better wages.
It's really easy to shut a country or a world down. It's really hard to open it back up. So when we're doing that, all this dislocation takes a while to settle out. I don't call it the Great Resignation. It's more of a great reassessment.
All right, so economists are expecting to see this trend rise. The April jobs report is due out this Friday, and experts are hoping that may shed some more light on the labor market and the status of economic recovery. Meanwhile, the perfect gift for Mother's Day may be no gift at all. A new survey of more than 1,000 moms found the perfect present is the gift of time and the serenity to take a nap. I can agree with that. Now, according to this survey by timetoplay.com, following naps, the second most desired gift for moms is a meal that they don't have to cook. Can I add, or do the dishes afterwards? They also want help with chores, coming in third place, and that is followed by more traditional gifts like a spa treatment, yes please, flowers, or a thoughtful card. I just asked my kids, can you not fight for one day? Can mommy just get a little bit of a break? All right, now to news of the coronavirus, as the CDC is once again recommending Americans wear masks on planes, trains, and buses. The agency issued a statement yesterday saying Americans aged 2 and older should wear a well-fitting mask on public transportation, as well as in crowded areas like airports and train stations. Now, this comes despite the April 18th decision by a federal judge declaring the mask mandate unlawful. Shortly afterward, the Justice Department filed a motion to appeal that ruling. And the Boys and Girls Clubs of Kern County continues offering free COVID-19 vaccines at clinics throughout the city and in Lamont. The organization is hosting a clinic today at the Armstrong Youth Center on Niles Street from 4:30 to 7. Moderna, Pfizer, and Johnson & Johnson vaccines are available. For more information or to get a list of other clinics, head over to our website, kget.com. And now to education news. The Kern County Superintendent of Schools has announced the 3 finalists for Teacher of the Year. Here they are: Kurt Keckley, a special education teacher at Frontier High; Kelsey Linnell, a K-8 literacy intervention teacher at Elk Hills School; and Hannah Rawberger, an 8th grade history teacher at Paul L. Cato Middle School. Now, these finalists are eligible to apply for the California Teacher of the Year program. A huge congratulations to each of them and the difference that they've made. And now to a project 6 months in the making that is already a big hit with kids in one Southwest Bakersfield neighborhood. City officials cut the ribbon on a new playground at Quail Park yesterday. $345,000 spent to make these improvements and put in new equipment there. It was paid for with funds from Measure N, a 1-cent sales tax increase approved by voters in 2018.
Yes, we have to address many of the pressing issues facing our community, and we are doing so. Public safety is the #1 priority. But in addition to that, longer term, we also have to make investments in our parks, in our public spaces, and we have to make investments for our children.
In all, $4 million have been set aside to fund improvements at 12 different parks here in Bakersfield.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.